Don't you hate it when a shoe company changes your favorite shoe? Well, today on this video, I am reviewing the Topo Athletic Pursuit 3. I enjoyed version 2. Version 3 is a little bit different story, and it had the potential to be a pretty amazing shoe. A little bit of a spoiler alert. Okay, on this review today, I'm going to be talking about the build quality and the comfort, the performance, and the value. Of course, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Consider joining the channel membership. Also, check out these views. We're gonna be running down through this little valley thing here. Just out here, my typical stomping grounds, beautiful area in northern Colorado. This is actually Coyote Ridge. I just ran across the ridge, and then I'll be heading back down and doing a little lollipop loop and back to the car for a total of about 7 miles today. Moving on with this run and the shoe review. Voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about some of the specs and features of the Topo Athletic Pursuit 3, and then get into my experience, my honest opinion, thoughts about the shoe. All right, Chad, over to you. Topo states, get off-road and hit the dirt hard with our zero-drop cushion trail runner. Our critically acclaimed Vibram Mega Grip outsole offers superior traction on all terrain, while generously spaced lugs provide excellent release in mud and snow, so you can activate full send mode in total confidence. The zero-drop cushioned platform features a zip foam midsole for a responsive, balanced ride. Directly underfoot, our specialty FKT insole boots that ride, while aiding in quick drainage in wet conditions. As for some of the specs and features, you get an engineered mesh upper, a roomy toe box fit, a gusseted and plush tongue, which also has lace loops to hold the tongue in place. The shoe is gator compatible, has FKT insoles, which is a closed cell beaded foam, water resistant, and has high energy return. There's zip foam midsole, which is an EVA and TPU blend. Vibram Mega Grip outsole with 5mm lugs. 28mm heel and 28mm toe stack for that zero drop, 300 grams or 10.6 ounces in a men's US size 9, and a US MSRP of $155. I should also state that Topo did send me this shoe for the purpose of review, but know that all thoughts and opinions are strictly my own and honest. Chad, over to you on the trails. So I was just talking to elderly lady who comes out here all the time to do hiking. Her name's Judy, and we were talking about hiking and running. She used to be a big runner. We were talking about cameras and recording your adventures. She mentioned she's seen a few rattlesnakes out here. Now that she brought it up, we were talking a little bit about that. I'm on like hyper awareness, hyper alert. I do not want to run across a rattlesnake. They're just kind of scary. On with the review, talking about the build quality and the comfort of the Topo Athletic Pursuit 3. So version 2 was a shoe that I actually really enjoyed. I found the upper to feel pretty lightweight, had a pretty positive experience underfoot, and it was certainly well put together and overall very comfortable. Version 3, they made some pretty significant updates. I wouldn't necessarily call them upgrades, but build quality, I'm just gonna come out and say, does get a thumbs up. Topo made a high quality shoe. Starting with that upper, you get an engineered mesh upper. Definitely appears to be very durable, and in the handful of runs that I've had the shoe out, no concerns about the upper. There's some very good durable overlays across the toes and around the eyelet chain. The upper material seems to be pretty durable, not something that's gonna rip or wear out on you premature. And then you get some pretty significant padding in the tongue. You get some sufficient padding, some good padding around the ankle and the heel. One, it helps hold your heel comfortably. The laces are also pretty thick, and because of the thickness of the tongue, I don't feel those laces across the top of my foot. The tongue is gusseted. You get some lace loops, I'll show you here. So you can see that there are these blue, in this case blue, lace loops where the laces kind of loop through to help keep the tongue from drifting or moving too much. The gussets are up here by the eyelet chain for the tongue, which it does, so it doesn't wrap all the way around the side of the shoe like in some of the shoes, other shoes or shoes of the past. These eyelet chains do a good job, like I said, holding the tongue generally, keeping it from drifting too far. But even in this case, you can see that the tongue is trying to pull itself sideways just a little bit as I've been running in it just for a couple miles already this morning. Pull that back. The upper is very comfortable, very plush, and I'm going to use the word thick. It's kind of the word that keeps coming to mind. The upper is kind of thick, which I think actually pulls away from the experience that I was hoping to have in this shoe. I'll talk about that in performance. Moving down the shoe, inside the shoe, that FKT insole. It's a beaded insole that's really bouncy, very responsive. One of the best insoles in the industry. I like it a lot. And then the zip foam midsole. It's a EVA TPU blend. It is soft. It feels pretty good underfoot. It's at least on the comfort scale, it's great. It does seem like they reformulated it a little bit in this shoe compared to version 2, making it just a little bit softer, a little bit more bouncy. So probably good changes there. Moving down into that outsole rubber, you get a Vibram Mega Grip. I believe it's 5mm lugs. Very good grip. Seems to be formulated a little bit more for durability as opposed to grip. I'm happy with the quality of that outsole. Okay, that's enough of that. I already mentioned build quality gets a thumbs up. I think it's a well put together shoe with materials that are going to last a long time. Comfort absolutely gets a thumbs up from me. Everything about this shoe is plush. It's designed to be plush. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you get that wide toe box, which Topo is known for, similar to like in an Altra. So you get that nice wide toe box, plenty of room for the toes to spread out, which is definitely a nice change compared to other shoes that I've been running in. But you still get a good hold around your foot, across your foot, and in the ankle and the heel. I also forgot to mention there are some fabric or textile underlays, as I call them. They're pieces of fabric that are inside of the shoe on the upper, and they again just help add some structure and security around your foot. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about build quality and comfort. Let's get up the trail just a little bit, and then I can talk about the performance and the things that haven't necessarily impressed me in the shoe. All right, I've got a lot of thoughts. I hope I can remember them all when it comes to the performance and my experience. Now, I'm not typically a negative Nancy, but my experience hasn't been 100% positive in the Pursuit 3, which is unfortunate because, as I was mentioning before, I really liked the Pursuit 2. I had high hopes, high expectations. I had excitement for the Pursuit 3. Now, I'm grateful, Topo, for sending the shoe. Grateful for the opportunity to review it and the opportunity that I've had to run in the shoe. If I'm honest with myself, this is not a shoe that I'm going to likely continue to run in. I don't know, haven't had the most positive experience. And it's not necessarily just one particular thing. I mean, I've never had any sort of blisters or rubbing or actual problems and issues with the shoe. It's just that my experience in it hasn't always been positive or fun. The shoe just isn't inspiring. I don't look forward to running in the shoe on that next trail run. And I feel bad saying that, but that's been my honest experience. I think what it comes down to, the midsole is good. I enjoy it. The upper is comfortable, but the whole package, one, even though it only comes in at 300 grams, which isn't necessarily a heavy shoe, it just kind of feels heavy underfoot. It feels not cumbersome or clunky. It feels heavier than is advertised. And so it just feels like I've got these I don't know, this weight on my foot that's, I don't know, makes it hard to just enjoy the leg turnover and enjoy just, you know, clocking in the miles. It almost becomes distracting. And I've run in heavier shoes before that don't have that same reflection or experience, but for whatever reason, I don't know, it just feels a little heavy underfoot. The other thing that keeps coming to mind, and I mentioned the word earlier, thick. Everything about this shoe is just kind of thick. The upper is thicker than I would like. It's not necessarily the most breathable and definitely is going to hold on to water. And while it's nice to have a comfortable tongue and comfortable ankle and heel hold, I don't know, everything's just a little bit too thick in this upper. Again, kind of adding to that overall weighty feeling underfoot. The midsole also feels a little bit heavier than in the previous version. One of the Topo shoes that I actually really enjoyed is the Mountain Racer 3. And I had a similar experience with the Mountain Racer 4. I wanted to enjoy that shoe, but they changed it, made things a little thicker, a little heavier, and so it ended up not being one of my favorite 100-mile race shoes like the Mountain Racer 3. The Pursuit 2, again, lightweight, kind of that zero drop option, and then they changed it all up in version 3. A couple things that I do like about the shoe. I do like the Vibram Mega Grip. Those lugs are nicely spaced. They actually do a really good job at gripping in the dry trail, as well as anything that is broken up or slightly loose, kind of like some of this trail here behind me. So it actually does a really good job in those conditions. Maybe not the best in super wet conditions, but otherwise really good grip. I also like the wider toe box. It is nice to, and I enjoy a nice snug, tight, sporty fit, but it is nice every once in a while to get into a shoe that just allows my feet to kind of spread out, my toes to spread out a little bit. The shoe also feels very stable underfoot, like I'm not gonna roll my ankle or, you know, twist my foot too easily. 28 millimeters of heel and toe stack. By today's standards, you might think 28 millimeters is not that much, but in this implementation, it's absolutely sufficient. I don't feel any harshness or those rocks underfoot at all. So I do enjoy that experience. That midsole foam is soft and offers a little bit of bounce back, but it errs more on the side of cushioning rather than bouncy responsiveness. As mentioned, I do think that midsole is maybe just a little heavy, but otherwise it's pretty good. I also think that the upper wraps around my foot nicely. I mentioned it's comfortable, but it does feel really good around my foot. I feel like my foot's not moving around very much. Just a good, secure hold. And part of that, I think, is not so much the upper material itself, but rather those underlays, those additional pieces of fabric that are on the inside of the upper. They just do a good job at holding onto your foot, wrapping around your foot, holding it in place. When it comes to performance, last thing I want to say, how would I use this shoe? I think this would be a decent, like through hiker, backpacking type of shoe when you're looking for a zero drop option. So while I'm not going to continue using this shoe as a trail runner, I think it is a great option for hiking and backpacking, so long as you don't anticipate river crossings, because everything is thick enough on that upper that it's going to hold on to water and take some time to dry out. Alrighty, this is a Sea Chad run video, not a Sea Chad walk video. I've been doing a lot of walking on that upper area. Let's get back to some running. That's a pretty fun section of trail there. Again, grip, doing excellent, especially in this loose, rocky terrain. Lugs are doing a great job digging in. There's my watch saying I'm just hit 4 miles. All right, so what about the value of the shoe? How does it compare to maybe some of the competition? Well, $155, which is $10 more expensive than the previous version. Really the only shoe that competes that I could think of. Let me know in the comments if you can think of another shoe. Only shoe that I could think of that really competes with this one is the Altra Timp 5 and Timp 6. Now in the Timp 6, Altra did soften up that midsole. I have not reviewed that shoe, so I don't know how it really performs, but more based on my experience with the Timp 5. Between the two shoes, you're probably asking yourself, which one would I prefer? Well, as a trail runner, I would prefer the Timp 5, so possibly the Timp 6. I just think that is generally the better trail running option. As a hiking shoe, I would probably choose the Topo. The toe box just feels like there's a little bit more room, a little bit more of that anatomical fit. And I like the midsole. As again, a hiker, I like that midsole underfoot feel, the softness, just a little bit more than in the Timp 5. But as a trail running shoe, it just, like I said, doesn't give me the experience that I really want. Feels like Topo made this shoe more for hiking and backpacking, through hiking and such, versus for trail running, while the Altra Timp 5 feels like it's made more for trail running, but can also double as a nice, lightweight, nimble hiking shoe. I feel like $155 is a reasonable price to pay, and the Topo Pursuit 3 is one of the few zero drop options. But for me, I'd rather spend $155 on maybe a low drop shoe. So there you have it, my thoughts on the value of the Topo Pursuit 3. I'd love to hear from you though. What has been your experience in the Pursuit 3? Is it a shoe that you're considering? Did this video change your mind? Is there a different shoe that you would rather have altogether? Let me know. I genuinely want to hear from you in the comments. And of course, if you have any questions because there's some thought or aspect of the shoe that I forgot to even address, let me know and I'll reply to your question as well. All right, we're gonna get up onto the top of the ridge, see some more beautiful views, and then wrap this video up. Just keep running, just keep running. Best views in town. All right, well, I hope you found some value or entertainment out of this video. If you're not subscribed, you've made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot more shoe and gear review and run ventures and more coming to the channel. So stay tuned, hit the bell for notifications. That way you're notified whenever I upload a new video. My concluding thoughts of the Topo Athletic Pursuit 3. Zero drop trail running / hiking shoe. It's a shoe that has some positive aspects to it, but also some drawbacks based on my experience. It's a shoe that feels a little heavy underfoot when trail running, but I do enjoy the wide toe box. I enjoy the Vibram Mega Grip outsole rubber. I enjoy the fit and hold around my foot. It has some comforts, some plushness, but also some thickness to it all. Perhaps making this shoe a better backpacking, hiking, through hiking type of shoe versus a trail runner. But it's one of the few zero drop options, with the exception of something like the Altra Timp 5 and Timp 6. Alrighty, about 2 more miles to get back to the car, so another run almost done. Getting my training ramped back up as I come off of my sciatic nerve injury. But I'm sure glad to be back to running. Check out this view behind me, by the way. Sure glad to be back to running, back to bringing you shoe reviews. Yeah, just back to enjoying all those wonderful morning miles. Speaking of which, leaving this video off as we always do, remember to be consistent, express gratitude, thank you, and enjoy every mile. I am enjoying the miles, even though the Pursuit 3 is not my favorite shoe. Enjoy every mile as I have today in the Topo Athletic Pursuit 3. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now. Check out those views.